check your messages and grab this kit if you are not a Perks member already. If you are thinking about enrolling in the Perks program, you guys, I'm going to show you most of what this kit has, all right? So there is a $49 starter kit that when I went live yesterday and the day before and the day before that, said it ended yesterday for the deal. There's over $200 worth of product in this kit that if you're a newly enrolling Perks member, you can get for $49. Now, if you're a Perks member and you want to switch already and you want to switch over to becoming a designer, you can also get this kit for $49. They have extended the program through the end of the weekend. So you can grab this today and tomorrow for $49. Starting, I believe, Monday. It may change, but by Monday, it will go back to $99, which is still a good deal. But this is everything that, well, almost everything that you can get in this kit. I'm going to show you right now. And then we're going to create something really cute with it. So type Perks and check your messages. Like I said, if you're already a Perks member and you want to become a designer on my team and for the same price and just save 10% more, you can switch to that if you like, okay? You can sell the product. You don't have to sell the product. Promise you, you do not have to sell the product if you do not want to. Let me find myself here. Turn my volume off. I was on my book club Zoom earlier. Hi, Lori. How are you? Okay, so let me show you everything that's in the kit, and then we're going to create with it. So you're going to get 4 jars of paste, okay? You're getting black and white jars of paste, and you are getting eggshell, or no, I'm sorry, sea glass and taffy. These are on Vogue colors for this season, okay? And like I said, everybody needs black and white. So look, each jar is $16 retail. There's 32, $64 just in paste retail cost, and the whole kit's only $49. So I'm just showing you this, okay? But you get all of this also, and plus one other thing. The only thing I don't have on hand is the door tag. It's in my truck with a project on it, but it's locked in my truck and I didn't feel like digging for my keys. So there we go. You're gonna get this 9x12 door tag, okay? You're also going to get, not these in tag form, but you're gonna get 2 5-inch circles like this without the hole in the center. You are going to get this, not the design on here, but this chunky shelf sitter that you can do double-sided on it. It's 5x7, and that will pair with one of the transfers that you're going to get, which is this Tulip Garden. Okay, so this surface goes with this. Then you're also getting, the 9x12 door tag, like I said, which will pair perfectly with this one that we used yesterday. And then you're also getting this 9x12 shiplap design, which we're going to use today. I'm going to show you how awesome it is. And that's going to pair with all of this. You're going to get an 8-in frame. Mine, I painted this brown. It comes white. It's 9x12. It's magnetic. It stands up on its own like this, even though that's upside down. That's removable, so it's a reusable surface, so I could wet this and scrape up all this paste and recreate with it. I'm not doing that today, but you totally could. You're also going to get a fuzz cloth, a multi-tool, and a small squeegee. You guys, so many things for only $49. So if you are a club member, you're not a Perks member yet, you definitely want to not pay retail costs. So I wanted to show you everything. The transfers are exclusive. A lot of times, usually, you guys, the transfers are a part of our collection. These transfers you can only get by getting them in this kit, okay? If you are becoming a Perks member. Now, like I said, if you're a Perks member already, you can switch to becoming a designer and grab this kit. It's only for newly enrolling designers or newly enrolling Perks members, okay? For Perks Palooza. Hi, Tammy. How's your dog? Did you have to put him down? I hope not. I've been thinking about you. That's such a bummer. Okay, so we're going to create with this transfer, we're going to use some of the paste from this kit. I wasn't even going to go live today, you guys, but then I got a message saying, hey, this kit's available still. And I thought, well, here we go. I'm going live anyway, I guess. So I'm going to start by painting this in bright white. At least that's my plan here. Oh, I'm so sorry, Tammy. That's just stinks. I know it stinks, so I am so sorry for you. Okay, so I'm going to give this, I wet this down, so it got real watered down, but hang on. Well, we'll just do it like this. Oh, where's my tray? Hang on. Hold, please. Let me grab my tray. Remember we used this the other day? It was perfect. Using these little trays, you guys, really, it's so fast to clean. I'm always trying to find new ways to, what do I want to say? Like paint on or clean up or hold my, stuff down. This was delightful. I just cleaned it right afterwards, and I suppose I could let it build up with paste and I still could clean it pretty easily because it is a slippery surface. All right, we're going to get this painted pretty quick. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you? I hope you're doing very well. And guys, the Perks program is really a loyalty program. It's kind of like, somebody said, I just saw somebody equated it to like being a Costco member. You get discounted items when you're in Costco. You have your membership that you pay yearly. This is a monthly deal, but then the difference is you get to use the money that you spend to be in that program toward product credit. So it's really, if you're going to spend $20 anyway on craft supplies, you might as well get that $20, use that $20 toward 30% off, right? That's how I look at it. It's a no-brainer. Somebody said something. Jen, for some reason, your comment got hidden. My stepdaughter, I'm just unhiding it. I don't know why that happened. He wasn't just a pet. He was one of my 4 legs. I'm sure. I'm so sorry. We feel like that about our own pets and our fur babies. Sorry, but I use the word pet, but I know what you mean, I'm so sorry. Aww, they're together now, Jen. They are together. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I know that's just, it's just not good, right? But I mean, having them suffer is not good either, but it's part of life. It's just sad. All right, we're going to give this one more coat. And I did wet my sponge down. I need to do it a little bit more. And we're just going to get this base done. And then I'll show you what we're going to put on it. I would have done this on a door tag, but I don't have one that doesn't have something on it. So you could totally recreate this in the kit with the door tag, but I apologize, I do not have a plain one on hand, unfortunately. So I'm using this frame. And we're just going to give this a quick painting. Guys, I'm all caught up on Etsy orders. I'm all caught up on Happy Mail. Everything, if you paid your invoice for the napkin bundle, Those all went out, except for some reason, Madeline Lee, when you watch this, I don't know why the postman didn't take your thing. So it's yours will go out on Monday, Madeline. But everybody else's left my porch this morning, so that was lovely. I only have 3 napkin bundles left, so if you want one, make sure you let me know. All right, we're gonna set this aside for now. Oh, they took us right in. And I'm sure, hopefully your vet was like, our vet is so kind, you know, they give you time, they let you know what, it was time. Like I've never taken my pet in and them said, hey, you shouldn't be putting your dog down. Like usually they tell us, you know, their dogs are ready before we're ready for sure. And I know they're at peace, but it doesn't help your sadness. I know that. It doesn't help the sadness. Okay, so I have the cutouts for What a Wonderful World. This was one of the top 5 bestsellers for the Simple Life collection, just so you know. Tell me in the comments which item do you think, if you're a designer, don't comment about it, because you might already know. If you watched, if you're a designer and you watched Brandy's live on it, don't comment. But if you don't know, type the transfer or the item, I should say, that you think was the most, the best-selling one out of the Simple Life collection. What do you think was the bestseller? I was actually surprised because I wouldn't have picked that. And actually, let me say a true statement. I'm just thinking, do I want to say this? I actually thought something else would sell out right away and it did not. So what do I know? Karen post on Facebook that their dog was missing. Someone said they saw him. I saw that too, actually. I saw something. I mean, maybe we saw different ones. Was yours local? Maybe yours was just a local deal. I may just do one coat of the white on this, because we are going to paint this in. So I may not care really if it's full coverage or not. Let me just do a little bit more over here. Because really, I just want my edges to be a little bit white. Okay, and we're going to do our letters also. Same deal for this. I may just do one coat or maybe 2 light coats just to get those edges white mainly. And I'm going to dry these and then paint these one more time. Yes, they did, Jen. We're good this year, so thank you for asking. They were one of the #1 seeds, so we did win. It's not a given. We won the first 2 games. We just won. This is like I just finished that game. You guys, all of the cutouts for the Simple Life collection, I literally just finished posting on Etsy. So if you'd like those, you can just type Etsy and it'll take you over there. So all the cutouts for that whole collection are now available. So I watched the game. To be honest, I was doing that and watching the game at the same time. I think I know what transfer you're going to use. It's my favorite. Ooh, we'll see. Did anybody comment what they thought the best seller was? I didn't see any comments about that. You know what, we're going to leave that the way it is. We're going to leave these the way they are. We're just going to leave all that the way it is. We have one more thing to paint. Yeah, at the end they kind of pulled away. Which, you know, is a nice, I like to be way ahead. My team, when my team is playing, I don't want it to be a close game. Because then I get like wound up. I'm going to paint the frame black. You guys can, you know, paint your frames any color you like, of course. I just think with how we're going to do this, the frame being black is going to look the best. Any 9x12 frame will work. You don't necessarily need the one I'm using, but you can grab this on my Etsy site. But if you want to get a frame from Dollar Tree and some watercolor paper, you could totally do that. You could use cardboard. There's lots of options depending on how you want to do it. I just want, oh, there's a lot of frames at Dollar Tree that are white in the center and black on the edges. So you could totally grab that if you like. This, I already had this cut and I thought I might as well just use it. But it comes in handy. These should fit all the size B frames. Mickey Mouse. Your guys aren't allowed. Okay, well. I thought, I'll go ahead and say what I thought. I thought it was going to be the craft beer one. I really thought it was going to be the craft beer one. Because, I mean, it's a little ways away, but with Father's Day coming up and whatnot, that's what I thought. But the top seller was actually a heat transfer, the one with all the books. So there you go. I thought it was going to be the other heat transfer, to be honest. And then another one in the top 5 was the what's it called? So Much Love. That was a good one. That was in the top 5 also. All right, we are going to do this part first. We're going to do our base of our frame first so I can show you this transfer that's in our, is this dry? Let me just give it one little dry. A million. Jen, we have a million. I mean, I live in a metroplex, so I don't have a million, but there are quite a few Dollar Trees around. And actually, this may or may not be true, but I think the largest Dollar Tree, I'm going to say in the world, the largest Dollar Tree is in very close, not very close, but near me. I don't go to it often because it's a little bit out of the way for me to go, but it's not that far. It's like maybe from my house, like 20 minutes. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. Note to Self is amazing, and that one was number 6. Number 6 bestseller. It's a size C, guys, and it says Note to Self, and on the background, you know, it's like empowering words on the background. Okay, so I am sanding and waxing this just to smooth out my paint. And then I'm going to buff back the wax. You want this to feel slippery, okay? So you rub it on, it's going to feel a little sticky. When you buff it back, it will feel slippery. Okay, then we're going to use this transfer, which has got a glare on it, from the starter kit. Again, you can enroll in the Perks program without getting the starter kit, But guys, you're going to save so much money by getting that kit. It's so discounted. It would honestly be silly not to. Just from the paste alone, okay? This is reusable, so all 3 of the transfers that are in the kit, you're going to be able to use over and over again many times. And what I'm doing is just adding a little fuzz to it. You're going to take your fuzz cloth that's in that kit, put your transfer on it, and lift up, okay? This is what I'm doing. I know a lot of you have been watching me a lot, so you already know this, but some people are new. You're just going to put it on your fuzz cloth and lift. This is called a fuzz cloth. They had somebody ask me the other day, what is that green towel you have? You can use your shirt. You can use a low lint tea towel, but if you grab the kit, you're going to have it, okay? All right, so then I'm going to just put this here in the center. And honestly, now that I'm looking at it, when you put the frame on, you don't need to repeat it, okay? So this is repeatable. You can make this as big lengthwise or widthwise as you want, okay? But as it turns out with my frame, it's going to cover the whole board, all right? So you want to get your air bubbles out. And then you can use this is called a small squeegee, even though you guys usually see me use this one. This is called a mini, this is called a small. To me, it's large, but whatever. And you're just going to get all your air bubbles out. And then I'm going to use black chalk paste. I actually think espresso would look really nice, but we're going to stick with black. You want to put some chalk paste on your squeegee and then rub it on the transfer, okay? Don't overthink it. Just rub it around. Press it into the silk screen. All around. That little bit is going to cover almost this whole thing, maybe even the whole thing. Then you want to scrape back your excess. You don't want to leave clumps sitting on top. Okay, and then I'm just getting that excess up. And anything that's left on my squeegee, I'm going to put right back in my jar to save for another project, okay? I don't need that bit on again. And then you just lift your transfer. You want to lift vertically or horizontally. And this is going to create a really pretty shiplap look. If you love farmhouse, this is the transfer you want. We had one years ago that was shiplap, and I didn't buy it at first. And then I saw somebody use it, and I thought, I have to have it. So then I went back and bought it later. If you don't have a shiplap transfer, you definitely want it, okay? So this is what it looks like. We're going to go ahead and put our frame on. Yeah, we're kind of lucky that way, Charlene, aren't we, that we have so many near us. So I'm just going to put a bead of glue around the outside edge of my board. Just like that. Kelly, it's not going to get completely clean on the green part. Hi, Kelly. How are you? It will stain it. Look, I use it. I'll show you. I'm going to use this one in a second anyway. I'll show you. Let me get this put on the right way. The green part is going to stain. It's totally fine. The only time that it will come almost all the way clean is like with white paste. But that doesn't matter. You want to clean the silkscreen part. That's the part you want to focus on. You guys, look how cute that is. Just like that. Isn't that awesome? As long as the silk screen is clean, Kelly, you're good. It's not going to affect your transfer whatsoever, especially with black. Black is going to stain the most, and I'll show you mine in just a second here. Okay, because I want this to look beautiful, let me just clean my edges. Yeah, that doesn't affect it at all, Kelly, I promise you. I know some people worry about it, but it doesn't affect your transfer. Just make sure you're cleaning both sides of it. That would be the only thing I would remind you, is clean both sides of your transfer. That way you're getting the fuzz off the back, off the sticky part. And you're cleaning the back side of that silk screen so the paste doesn't get clogged in there. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Isn't that so cool? Yep, then you're totally doing it right. As long as you're cleaning the front and the back, you're good. I'll show you mine just in a second here. All right, we're going to swap out our things. All right, so we're back to these, and these are dry. So while all this is in here and already dry, I'm just going to give it a light sanding. And of course, when I remember, I like to try to keep my cutouts on the tape when I'm sanding and waxing because it just holds it all. Hi, Brenda. How are you? We're just talking about the kit that's available right now. They extended it. In case you heard, it was going to be done yesterday, but it's the $49 starter kit. You can still grab it if you switch to being a designer or you become a newly enrolling Perks member. You can grab that through the weekend. Okay, so I'm going to wax these also. Actually, am I going to wax? I'm not going to wax this because we're going to paint this. So we are going to wax my words. And see how nice it is to have it on the tape? Like, it just makes life easier. And then the same, just buff it back. If you have too much wax, your paste won't want to stick. You just want to make sure you buff it back. Don't overthink it. Even if you buff it back a little bit, it should be good. Oh, I'm sorry, Brenda. Okay, so all these are good. And I'm just going to pull them off here because I want to show you guys something real quick. So see how the paste is like dried on here? But I took, first I took a baby wipe and just kind of went over it with a baby wipe. Or you can just use your board eraser and some water and it comes right off. Isn't that awesome? And then I don't have to worry about cleaning my table, and it kind of keeps all the dust in here and everything. So I'm liking this new system that honestly I've had these here for a long time. I just didn't use them. I was using them, but not in this way. Okay. See, totally clean. All right. Let's work on this. I waxed this. I waxed it and said I wasn't going to. I feel like I did. Maybe I didn't. Okay, let me show you guys the transfer and show you what Kelly was talking about. So what Kelly was mentioning was she thought she wasn't getting her transfer clean because of the staining around it. It's fine. See how the words are white? That's what you want. You want your silk screen to be clean. The green part, we don't care. Okay? It does not matter. Lori, I got the trays. They're from Really Good Stuff. It's a teacher, but you could probably get them other places. This one, I don't know if there's let me see. Oh, Lakeshore. That's a lie. I got them at Lakeshore. So they might be a little pricey, but you know what? They'll last you forever. I've used those in pre-K. When I taught pre-K, I've used them for a lot of years. Yes, it looks exactly like that, and you're totally good, right? You're totally good. Okay, so what I'm going to do, what am I going to do here? This seems weird. Okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to, you know what, I didn't wax this, so let's fuzz this just a little more. Perks members have a lot of flexibility, so you can cancel at any time and rejoin at any time with anyone you want. There's no, I just was reading some of the comments. There's no grace period for when you quit and when you rejoin. So if you decide to enroll and then next month you decide to unenroll, it's a very flexible program. It's not like when I said Costco, it's not like Costco where you're in it for the whole year. It's just, it's a loyalty program like that, and that when you join for the month, you're in it and you can shop at a discount the whole month. So designers, it's a different deal. Switching from one designer to another is not as easy, but if you're a Perks member, it is a very flexible program. Okay, what am I going to do with this? I'm trying to decide if I want to just use black. Okay, I think I'm going to use black, but originally, sometimes when I paint in, I use a lighter color. And then I go back in with the darker color for the details. So I'm going to try just a watercolor method this time, so we don't have to lay our transfer back down. So we're going to do this whole thing in black. So I'm just going to press this in the silk screen. Just like this. Originally I was thinking I would paint it in and relay the transfer down, but I know a lot of you don't like doing that. You don't like relining it up, like you're worried you won't get it lined up properly or whatever. It's a pretty easy process. It does not have to be perfect, but we're going to do it this way this time for those of you who don't like to lay it back down. Okay. So then you just lift, just rub it in and lift. Okay, now see how my transfer curved a little bit? I didn't wax this, so it didn't pull up quite as easy. My transfer's fine, but you don't want a big curl with this because that will stretch it. But look at how gorgeous this is, just in black and white. Isn't that so pretty? I think it's awesome. Hit the heart button for me. Make sure you're commenting. While we're at it and we're letting this dry, let's do our words. Hang on, let's stick this over here and we'll do our words. I'm going to do my words in black too. So I'm going to pull all my words off this tape. And this is just painter's tape. It's what works for me. So that's what I use. Okay. It'll be easier, and I think to myself, might make my life easier to do it in order. Okay, there's and. But this is annoying, so I'm going to do it this way. Oops, upside down. And I think, thank you, Lori. particular transfer. Sometimes they're a little bit stickier than others. This one's got a good grab to it, so it really grabs that cutout and then is super easy to just line up, honestly. Myself. What? A wonderful So once I finish this, I'm working on a craft that I'm making for a reel this week. I think this week I'll post it. And then I'm going to go play with my laser and see if I can get it to cut those thicker pieces. Or I can. It's not that it can't be done. I just wanted to see if I could do it with the laser head that I have. I probably need to buy another laser head for it. But I want to try it without because I'm anxious. Otherwise, this week I'll just be ordering a laser head. Because you guys were awesome to give me a million ideas on thicker pieces. So I'm anxious to get started. You know, this was in the top 5. I don't know if I said that. I can't remember what number it was right offhand, but not that that is super important, but it was way up there. Might have been number 2. Okay, this we're going to just spray with some water. I like to clean the black ones, you guys. When I use black chalk paste, even though you see me, spray them in here, I usually with the black chalk paste take them to my sink. They're a lot easier to clean in the sink. Do you really want to know, Jen? We're going to be 92 today. Jason and tomorrow. Jason and I are going on the boat tomorrow. That's our plan. We have to go clean it because we weren't dumb. I was going to say dumb. We were not dumb. We were hopeful that we were going to get back out on the boat again in December. But we were not able to, and so we left it uncovered for the last few months, which still would have been fine, but when we had that ice storm, a bunch of ice, the way the marina is, your docks are on like a flexible, I don't know what the word is I want to use. The dock is flexible. There are these posts, and when the water gets low, the dock goes down. When the water gets high, it goes up. You see what I'm saying here. And so there was all this ice accumulated on the roof, and then when it melted, it like sprung. And guys, when you're on a boat or you have a boat slip, there are so many spiders and spider gunk. And we have this like protective thing, but it flung all this grossness onto our boat. Apparently, my husband was out there. So we are going to go clean it. And then we're going to tootle around on it for a little bit. Okay, I am going to use espresso watered down. And it's real watered down, so when you go over the black details, you're still going to see through it. And then I'm not going to need to lay my transfer back down. If you want a thicker, not a watercolor vibe, then you can just go in, paint it like I'm painting it, exactly the same. But then you're going to want to sand and wax and line your transfer back up and get your details back in. Today we're not doing that. Today we're just painting. Extremely amount of water, a lot of water. And you can see I like to do paint in my jar, my lid of my jar. If you do that, you should use distilled water so you don't get any impurities in your paste. The paste is made with all natural materials, so you don't want things to grow in here. And then if your paste gets too thick, like you don't thin it out enough, just get water on your brush and go over those areas that you're worried about, okay? I'm gonna say he's sitting right here. And he's sitting on a branch right here. Now your bird, you color whatever you like. You might have seen me do this bird on the Chalks main page when I was a presenter for that. I painted him blue with kind of a brown chest. For this, we're going to just paint him, I think, one color. We're going to make him any color we like is what we're going to do. Let's see, this is his body. This is the branch. Okay, I think we're good with the brown. So this is espresso. This is not in the kit, but you would want to add that. Hi, Vicky Little. How are you? So I'm going to also use Meadow for my green. I'm going to get that brush back out because this is a nice brush. And I'm just going to use a watered down version of Meadow. And paint in my leaves. Okay. Well, I didn't bring up the weather, but you asked, Jen. Careful what you ask for, as they say. This is the time of year where, I mean, we have amazing weather typically. Typically it's in the 80s. We're not usually in the 90s. Not usually. This is I'm sure you guys are probably, some areas are warmer than normal. It's going to be a little closer to normal. Oh, this should be brown too right there. Sometimes as you're painting, you notice, oh, that's part of something else. So I'm just going to paint this in. Guys, if you're watching and you're new to chalk and you're new to me, please let me know. Always let me know so I can welcome you in, answer any questions that you might have. We've been doing Perks Palooza all month long, just as honestly, what they said to tell you, what Chalk said to tell you is the reason they're doing all these promotions for Perks is to let you, honestly, I watched this video this morning, and Brandy said, if you guys know who Brandy is, she's one of the CEOs. I don't know what her exact title is, but it's basically just to say thank you to all the Perks members that are a part of our amazing company that we love. And we're so glad that you've chosen to be with us. And she just wanted you to know that this Perks Palooza, we celebrate it every March, is just a way for Chalk to say, to give back to you guys. Is why this kit is such a steal right now. It's a thank you. Okay, I need to paint this brown before I forget. And then we'll do our bird, okay? Oh, you're so nice. Hi, Pat Hill. Thank you, Lori, for the compliment. You guys, I'm always happy to help you. Like, I want you to love it as much as I love it. I have been chalking for over 4 years now. And I do it every day. So I feel like I'm getting better and better every time I do it. I'm trying to find where his feet are. So just give me a second. I'm just painting. I can't tell if this is the branch or we're going to call this part the branch. And then his feet like right there. Okay. All right, now we're good. This is where we are so far. I know it's probably hard to see me paint from a distance, but this is what it looks like right now. Okay, and again, this is just watering the paste down. That's it. And coloring like you would if you were in kindergarten. All right, so our bird, I'm going to paint watercolor his beak black. But I was going to either use taffy or sea glass, honestly, to paint the bird in. I'm thinking sea glass, which is this really pretty green. The way I painted it in on the Chalk's main page, I took a picture of that bird and I went to my chat GPT. This is too much. And I said, what kind of bird is this? Because I didn't know. And according to ChatGPT, it was like a nuthatch bird or something like that. I'm not a bird person, you guys. So if you know the name of this bird, this is way, 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 way too much. Hang on. There we go. Did you see me just get rid of all that paste by putting my paper towel down? There we go. That's better. The way I had it, you couldn't see the details. So anyway, those birds are like blue on the top and brown or white underneath. Sea glass. Hi, Teresa. How are you? Thank you, Jen. I appreciate it. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. I was getting nervous. I wasn't as nervous this time as I was the first year. I think sea glass is a good choice. So since my friend Lori was the only one that commented on my question that I could see. Guys, if I miss your comment, I always try to go back and see, so don't stress about it. If you ask a question, or if you think that I really blew by it, ask it again. Say it again. I'm happy to. I can only see so many comments at a time on my end because I've got the screen, because I have old eyes. And I've got the screen blown way up. So when you comment, I only see like 4 at a time. So I always try to scroll back. So don't stress. That's for my own old eye problem. So this is just going to give this bird a light color. Could be any bird. It doesn't say specifically what kind of bird it is. So I'm going with light blue. Whatever kind of bird that is, we're going to go in and paint some feet in a second. Because they're there, they're just not super prominent. So I'm going to paint this whole thing, I'm going over the black. It's still going to show. If it looks a little muted to you, you can take a little marker and go right back over those areas just to clean them up. But isn't this fun? Guys, treat yourself to a fun craft time. We deserve it. Okay, that's good. I'm going to get my black back out because I want to, you know what, I can use it with my marker. All right, we're going to dry this. Lori, it was super fun. Thank you for asking. We went last night to a piano bar with our friends. And hello, Charlotte Zepp. And we had a great time. Piano bars are fun. If you like music and just hanging out and whatever, it was fun. And you know what? We're in our 50s and we were there to the end of the night. So look at us go. Look at us being, closing down the bar. All right. I am going to, so I have a super skinny regular Sharpie that I'm just going over some of these black lines with. Basically just tracing what's already here. You want to, of course, make sure if you're going to do this, just make sure that everything is very, very dry before you do this. This is ultra fine Sharpie marker. If you want to go over your details, this, I'm telling you, is just 100% optional, but since chalk has all the lines here for you, it just is going to brighten everything up. Without having to clean your transfer, without having to lay it back down, you can just go through and mark these little lines, or leave it. They don't have to be this dark. I just sort of decided this as I grab my marker. Just like this. And you can see it goes pretty fast. This must be a decent marker because it's not getting, or because I thinned out my paste so much. Sometimes I get a little bit of paste on the end. Okay, and I'm not maybe going to do every line, but I'm doing a lot of them. All right, oh, here, let's do some of the lines down here. Okay, this just brightened up some of the detail. But you can see on the bird, how cute. All right, now the only thing left is get my edges. It is fun. Piano bar is a good time. But when I go to bed after midnight, that's old. I can't do that too many times in a row. Not too many times in a row. Actually did pretty good on painting this, you guys. Only a few spots. Only a few spots. Same for those. Okay, let's glue all this together. So if you're just popping on, we use the Shiplap transfer from the new kit. Now let's see. Is this, what I'm wondering is, how does this go on the transfer? It goes just like that, I guess. Okay. Okie dokie. Always make a plan before you, and I think to myself, okay, let me see how they have it laid out. Okay, world is by itself. What a wonderful. Hold, please. What a wonderful world. Think, where's 2? And I think to myself. So you can lay this out however you want. think this is how I'm going to lay it out for me. Or I could bring this lower. To myself. What a wonder. Maybe I'll just do it this way anyway. Just like that, I think. And what if I do it like this? All right, I'm laying it out different. I kind of like it like this. The transfer has it different, but I have it. Do I like it like this? I'm like, do I like it that way? Let me look at it one more time. Well, maybe I'll do it this way. Change my mind. My prerogative. Put my eyes upside down. Okay, we're going to glue it down and we're all set. What do you guys think? This turned out really pretty, you guys. So pretty. So pretty. And to me, it gives the feeling of, with the shiplap in the back, like the bird is like near a fence or sitting on a fence. I know it's sitting on a branch, but it's like it's in someone's yard, is how I feel. But I like that shiplap in the background. All right. And then let me know, of course, if you have any questions about the Perks program, if I didn't explain it, or if there's something you're not quite understanding. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Like I said, it's a very flexible program, so you're not stuck in it. There's no minimum purchase, though I wouldn't join unless you're planning on spending $20, because otherwise... Oh, by the way, that's the other thing to point out. If you buy the kit, the $49 kit, as I talked about at the beginning, you guys, you still get $20 in product credit. So you're only spending $29 on that kit. And then you can use that other $20 that you use to buy the kit, quote unquote, to spend on more craft supplies. Is that insane or what? I don't know why 100 people haven't joined the first day. So you get the kit, you get $20, you spend $49, you get $20 in product credit, and you get $200 worth of product. And you can shop at 30% off for the rest of the month. You guys, I don't understand. And Perks members get all kinds of like special sales deals and special promotions and all kinds of things. It's crazy. It's an awesome program. But honestly, $49, you get 20 back. Well, they get a free frame if they go back and make another purchase. So if you enroll in the Perks program and you get the cart, what Jen's asking, so if you enroll in the Perks program and you get the kit, you check out with the kit, just only have the kit in your cart. Then if you plan on making any more purchases, what you're going to do is go back in, make sure you're logged in. It's not that hard. You'll already be logged in. You go back in and then purchase anything else you want. And if you spend $25, you're going to get a frame for free. On top of that, it's the frame that we did right here. It's a 9x12 chalkboard. I'm telling you, it's Perks Palooza madness. So you have to go back in and make a purchase, but yes, the answer is yes. But not when you buy the kit, you won't. Look at this. Isn't this pretty? What do you guys think? Hi, Natalie James. Thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. I hope you have an awesome weekend. And I'll see you all very soon. Type the word perks, P-E-R-K-S. Check your messages. And you can, like I said, you can upgrade to be a designer or you can enroll in the perks program either way. All right? Thanks, guys. See you soon.